So I'm just gonna do this because if I don't, I'm gonna regret doing it, not doing it. Let's talk about this Witcher 4 demo. They've gone out of their way to make sure they say not actual gameplay. There's a reason for that. The reason is they don't want to repeat of Cyberpunk. They don't. They don't want to repeat of Cyberpunk. Now, in my opinion, I don't think you should be putting anything out. Period. Just leave it alone. Let it go. Don't put anything out. Give us, here and there. You're gonna do the CG trailers, fine. But really, we shouldn't be seeing any footage from you until the game is near or if not complete. And that's something that all these companies need to learn. Stop putting out stuff and announcing stuff before it's ready. Seriously. What Bethesda did should show you that you can absolutely get away with almost no marketing and releasing a game if everybody is interested in your IP. You can release it right then and there, like immediately after you announce it. Todd Howard proved it can happen. Now, the quality of the project, quality of the content is going to vary, but that's exactly what they should be doing if they want these games to be good. The fact of the matter is, or be received well, I should say. The game should be good regardless, but if the games are garbage, then you aren't going to have the player base to begin with. Nobody's entitled, you're not entitled to anybody's money, and nobody's entitled to spending their time playing your game, right? You need to convince people to spend their free time playing your game, period. Anything else is ridiculous. I don't know what else we need to do to show you guys that. I mean, you've seen so many layoffs throughout the industry, and I would hate to see another round of layoffs with a company that has gone out of their way to try and amend things, at least for the better part of the end of 2022, 2023, 2024. They got the accolades. They definitely got the recognition for fixing what should have been fixed at release. The complete game that we got, that's what we should have got back when the game first released. If you needed to delay it this long, you should have. And what you do is you go quiet. You do the Hello Games route. You go quiet, keep your mouth shut, do the little updates you need to do, get the game working right. And then at the very end, you say, thank you for sticking with us. We apologize again for not giving you what you wanted. But now we feel comfortable with what the game is, and we're going to, do these subtle little updates until it's time for us to work on our next project. And our next project, we're not going to announce until that's actually ready. We're not going to mention any dates. We're not going to give you any time frame. I don't want you expecting this game before it's ready. That's what GTA is doing. You know why it's been so long in between trailers? It's because they've not been ready. And they are allowing themselves time in between. Now, what the content inside the game is going to be like, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it gets updated to what we've been seeing out of current games. Maybe they try to go with a slice of a timeline that, is nostalgic to certain people. There's any certain number of things they could do. You clearly saw within that trailer what they were trying to do. And what they were trying to convey is like, yeah, we're going to have this stuff in our games. We're going to have it in our games. And just to be honest with you, I'm glad it's in there. I'm glad it's in there. The Chinese, the Korean, even some Japanese, that game market has been exploding. Stellar Blade should show you that you could take a game studio that, well, not even Stellar Blade, Nikkei got us a victory. You know what that did to that Shift Up company? Do you realize how explosive something like that was? And that was a phone game. Now, yeah, you can play it on PC too, but it's like people wouldn't go out of their way to download that on PC knowing it's a phone game unless they actually were interested in the content. In this case, it just so happens to be waifus. So I think if you're going to keep at this, if you're going to keep this going, you need to just go ahead and make the change. Make the change necessary. You need to stop trying to placate to a audience that has no interest in actually financing your products. You need to placate to the right audience at this point. Your consumer base wants something specific. You already know what it is, and you're going to feed your competition, who will then put you out of business. You can only do so many layoffs before you no longer have a studio to make games. And the talent is going to leave on their own. People who know their worth, they'll leave when they see the project is going to fail. Those should be the warning signs, but you got the wrong people in your ears telling you all this nonsense about how the game should look like this, how the game should be promoting this, how we should be focusing on this. I mean, honestly, let's just be honest here. As a consumer, I don't really care what a dev has to say. Show me gameplay and then end your footage. I shouldn't have to see anything about a dev. I'll tell you what, I'll hear what the dev has to say after I played the game and I see the credits. And then, if the game was really good, I'll remember some of the names for the credits. And then you can have those people do interviews afterwards. Because at least at that point, I can put some value behind the names of the people who are talking. If the game's going to fail and you already put these people's faces out here, all I'm going to do is think next time I see this dude's face or this person's name on a product, I'm probably just going to steer clear because that's probably not going to be what I want. I mean, let's just be honest about this. There's no way to come at this with any sort of, you're not going to be able to finagle. I mean, obviously you'll be able to convince certain people because people still pre-order. You'll be able to convince certain people to part ways with their money, but a lot of people, you already burnt the bridge, and some people are too hesitant to cross the bridge until they see some proof that you got some structure going on. So I would suggest CD Projekt Red. I know you don't know me. I know you don't, to you, I could just be a nobody, but I'm CD Projekt Red. I was very much a fan of Cyberpunk. I played it at release. I bought it when it first launched. Look, you need to just go ahead, stay quiet until this game is ready to play. Stay quiet and develop. That's it. Stay quiet, develop the game. Try to be as true to the lore as possible, because there's people who love the lore. You can see that with the show, even though, they took liberties on their own. People still love the lore. People love the books. People love the old games. They want it. They want a continuation of that. Don't steer off and start talking about current anything. Keep it in that fantasy realm. It's an escape. It's an escape. That's what these games are. They are an escape. They are a way to get my mind off the current happenings of the world, current happenings in my everyday life. That's what this is. It's a hobby that I do on my free time. Don't make me put my free time in something else. Because I guarantee you, the older I get and any of your other customers get, and the less they spend time on these hobbies, the less money you see, you're going to start trying to keep raising the price to try and justify the lack of customer base you have. Eventually, you're just going to have to say, oh, well. And then all those people who spend all that time investing into those companies, they're going to be the ones who get hurt the worst if they're not smart. And all of the employees who actually did have gaming passion and weren't just programmers who were just looking for a quick check while they were looking for their next come up or looking for their next stage in their career. That's the other thing. We need to start rooting out these people who aren't actually serious about the gaming industry as a whole. Just see it as just another job. Because the fact of the matter is, the people who actually put passion in this stuff and placate to their fans, know their fans, they're the ones making the billions of dollars. I.e. Shift Up. Perfect example. I really can't think of any other way to describe that. So if you're not going to take this seriously, I wouldn't even bother with The Witcher 4 at this point. I wouldn't focus on Ciri at this point. I mean, maybe have Ciri in the world. Maybe have Geralt in the world. They're walking around. Have the rest of the Witchers in the world. It's a collection of people from different schools doing different things. I would have preferred to just have our own Witcher. But you guys want to, you want to keep the story going. I think you ended it pretty well. Should have just left it alone. But you want to do this series story? Okay, here's your chance. Do not mess this up. This is going to be it. If you guys screw this up, I'm not dedicating any more funds to any of your projects. I can't do it. I already am very cautious about Cyberpunk, Orion. The things I've been hearing about who's writing the works and all of that stuff. Like, I get it. It's a fantasy. We should be able to tell any kind of story we want, but let's be realistic here. There's only a certain amount of things you want out of a Witcher game. There's only a certain amount of things you want out of a Cyberpunk game. Let's keep that core focus. And then if you want to just play in the world of, because Unreal is a powerful engine and everything, cool. But let's keep that where it is. Let's keep that where it is. You showed off a tech demo that had 60 frames per second. Is the gameplay going to be 60 frames per second on a base PS5? Optimization should be your main focus with this game when you're developing it. Seriously. I shouldn't have to worry about stutters, popping, all that. Like, all of that stuff should be mastered. You have AI right now. Instead of laying the people off, teach them how to use the AI so they can use that to maybe optimize the game so that it performs well. That's what the AI should be for, not just creating the game from scratch. It should be used to optimize. That's what it should be there for. And just... It shows a lack of talent when you have to force people to play a game at 30 frames per second because you didn't feel like, or you didn't want to dedicate all the resources because you spent the beginning of your development time just talking and you guys didn't have any idea. You know what a Witcher game is supposed to look like at this point. There shouldn't be any question. There shouldn't be any question. Same thing with Cyberpunk, and this goes to every other game studio out there. I mean, you should already have an idea what the market wants. You should already have an idea of what you want as a game before you say anything to the public. You should already know what the game is. Don't put out a bunch of fake nonsense and then expect us to just, we'll play in that world. And then we're sitting up there trying to learn how to be the developers, messing with your game engine because you don't know how to do things correctly, or you don't want to put all the effort in, and you feel like, I'll put the least amount of work in, and the customers can make the game themselves. That sandbox stuff only worked once, and it was with Dreams, and there was barely anybody using it. The people who were using it were very talented, and I hope most of them got jobs. But at the end of the day, you need to serve the customer. Customer is always right. And right now the customer is saying, hey, we don't like these new games that you've been putting out that haven't been that great. You could just look at track the sales. That tells you everything. Track the sales. We like nostalgia if you're going to do it right, but if you're just going to put a little skin on it and it's this nonsense game, just don't even worry about it. So that's my feelings on it. I've ran it long enough. This is something I really love. Video games, man. I do. I love them. They're a passion of mine. They're a hobby. I like playing them. Maybe hope to make one day. But I mean, set an example, please. I would like a new generation of developers who are, young and full of energy and ready to give us like something new. And you know what? Sometimes we don't want something new. Sometimes we want the same old. We just want it redefined and optimized. There's a lot of old IPs out there, and you're doing all these remasters for current games. Maybe dig into the vault and grab some of those older IPs that had popularity back in the day and figure out. I mean, if you're smart, if you can figure out how to re-optimize those things. So, yeah, that's my feelings on the situation. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching this long if you did. Peace.